Hi, Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Nurul Balkis binti Nora from class J4 EC1104E. Okay, so in this video, I would like to present about personal protective equipment. It is including 4 things which are introduction of PPE, 10 most common type of PPE, hazard environment, and also conclusion. Firstly, we need to know what is PPE. According to the OSHA, personal protective equipment is any equipment worn by the workers to minimize exposure to hazards that cause serious workplace injuries and illness. It is necessary for every construction company to provide proper PPE and training for their workers to prevent any injuries or deaths if it occurs. The employer needs to follow a few regulations by OSHA when selecting PPE. These included to be aware of acceptable level of risk exposure and many more. Here are the 10 most common PPE used in the construction. Safety goggle is a tight-fitting eye protection that completely covers the eyes and eye socket. It provides a protection from dust, dead metal, or wood chip from entering the eyes from activities such as shaping, hammering, and even strong wind forces. Employers should provide one pair of safety goggles to each worker rather than sharing it. The safety goggle that being shared must be disinfected after being used. Construction workers are exposed to head injuries from the impact of a falling object or collision with fixed objects at the workplace. Head injury can impair an employee for life or can be fatal. Wearing safety helmet might be the easiest way to protect employees' head. Safety helmet should do resist penetration by object, absorb the shock of blows, and also have clear instruction explaining proper adjustment and replacement of the suspension headband. Next, we have safety shoes. Construction workers can face a foot or leg injuries due to many factors such as when heavy objects fall on their feet or while working with sharp objects such as nails that can pierce the sole of ordinary shoes. To minimize the risk of getting any injuries, employers should provide a safety shoes for the workers that was also designed to be electrically conductive to prevent electrical shock. Glove is necessary to protect the workers against hazards such as cuts, laceration, and abrasions. Common activity that may require hand protection equipment including working in hot or cold environment, manually handling sharp objects, and working with hazardous chemical. Glove may include leather, canvas, metal, coated fabric, and chemical-resistant glove, each for different kind of protection. Next, for the earplug, said construction workers may expose to excessive noise depends upon a number of factors including the loudness of the noise as measured in decibels, the duration of each employee's exposure to the noise, and also whether the noise is generating from one or multiple sources. Ear damage can be avoided or reduced by using the earplug. It is important to ensure that the earplugs are clean before insertion and the size must be perfectly fit for the ear canal. OSHA requires that fall protection be provided at elevation of 6 feet in construction industry to prevent the workers from being injured from falls. Every worker must receive enough training before wearing all the fall protection equipment at the workplace. It is important to ensure that fall protection equipment to be free from any damage to prevent any accident before wearing it. High visibility clothing is a cloth that wears on highly reflective properties or a color that is easily discernible from any background. As the example, yellow waistcoat wears on emergency service. It can be worn by construction workers who work on bridge or roads. Due to the color of the vest contrast with the background, it maximizes the visibility, so the motorcyclist and driver will notice them, thus reduce the risk to be hit. Face shields give overall protection for the eyes and the face against nitrogen dust and potential splashes of hazard liquid. It is necessary for the welders and bar benders as they were highly exposed with flying debris and heat. Debris can easily cause injuries to the face, teeth, or ears, and those injuries could be painful and expensive, even permanently disfiguring. Respiratory protective equipment, or known as RPE, used to protect the construction workers against the inhalation of hazardous substances in the workplace air. Workers may be exposed to a large amount of tiny substance or dust such as cement that may come into the lung while inhaling. Construction workers spend a lot of their time in the sun and highly exposed to the ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Even on the cloudy days, their skin is susceptible to the sun's ray, which can lead to skin irritation, discoloration, wrinkles, and the worst, it can cause cancer. Sunscreen works by blocking and absorbing UV rays through a combination of physical and chemical particles. Physical particles such as zinc oxide and titanium dioxide are used to reflect UV radiation from the skin. Ultraviolet protection factor clothing also works as same as the sunscreen. UPF works by blocking for about 98% of the sun rays and keep them safe from the sun's damage. Next, I would like to tell you guys about hazardous environment at site construction. Hazard is a situation that creates a threat to life, health, property, and the environment. Hazard differ from risks, in that risks describe the potential for a situation such as a hazard to cause harm. Most hazards are potential or latent, but a hazardous situation becomes effective. It can cause an incident, an accident, or even a disaster. The first hazard is falls from height. Falls from height is the most common hazards that occur at the construction site. This is because construction often involves working at height for roof installation or while working on high-rise building. Many possible factors can cause the fall, such as sleep, harsh weather, or inappropriate PPE. To avoid any injuries, workers should wear fall protection equipment while doing such works after receive full training on how to use and wear the PPE. It is also very important for the worker to do checking before wearing the fall protection equipment. The second hazard is being struck by objects. Construction site is a place where there are many possibilities to be struck by objects from above. It can be material slipped during lifting by the crane, or the structures such as trusses and beams collapsed during construction and fell into the workers. If the object struck the head, it can be a fatal injury. Thus, it is very important for the workers to wear safety helmets to protect their head and also safety shoes to protect their legs. So, the third hazard is harmful fine dust. Demolishing, mixing concrete, and timber trimming are examples of activities that produce fine dust at the construction site. Without any proper phase barrier, the fine dust can get into the eyes and lungs when inhaling, thus cause lungs irritation from time to time. Hence, workers need to wear proper PPE such as safety goggles, face shield, and respiratory protection to avoid any harms to occur. For the last hazard that often occur at construction site is noise. The construction site working environment is busy and noisy. Sudden loud volume can be hazardous for workers, but it's also exposure to long-term, repetitive sounds such as drills and compressors, which can lead to short or long-term problems, including hearing loss. Construction site noise can also present a distraction which can result in accident. To avoid further injuries, earplug can be used when doing such works. As a conclusion, personal protective equipment is very important in order to reduce safety and health risks at the construction site. Other than that, proper training to handle the PPE at every possible hazards at the construction site should be obligate, so the workers can be more prepared to face the hazards. It is also very important to do checking before wearing any PPE to avoid using any broken PPE. In a nutshell, employer and worker should follow the OSHA regulations to make PPE a compulsory to wear while working at the construction site to prevent any injuries or deaths. And that's all from me. Thank you.